welcome to the football fill-in. And listen, I know the Premier League is sorted with Liverpool and relegation is pretty much done, but we have still got so much to talk about. We've got an unreal Champions League fight, and we've got a wicked saga rolling on with Tottenham and Man United because they just keep getting pumped every week. So we've got a brilliant show for you today. We've got Super Paul Robinson back, first time back in a while.
Prodigal son returns.
Dave Watson still got about 30 points in him from the Birmingham-Peterborough game at Wembley yesterday. My mate Tom, it's going to be a good show, boys, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to it.
How's your head, mate?
It were a bit delicate this morning, first thing, but I'm...
He walked in with a bottle of water. Never seen him with a bottle of water in my life.
Yeah.
Well done.
I intended to get back from Wembley and watch the golf past start and miss the golf.
It was brilliant, mate. I'll let you know now. It was brilliant. Do you want me to tell you who won?
Yeah, please.
Rory. Yeah. Oh, boy. Green jacket.
Come on.
Robbo, how are you, mate? Good?
I'm good, thank you, mate.
Good weekend?
Yeah, lovely. Enjoying the weather.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Making the most of it.
It's going to get rubbish now. We're going to start with Man United, lads, yeah? We've got to, haven't we?
Yeah.
We have got to, haven't we?
Yeah.
Should we tell everybody what we were doing on the bike last week, by the way, quickly?
Go for it.
We were out in Mallorca. We did a bike packing trip around the island. It was phenomenal. 3 days, all the way around, mountains, sweating, stinky, camping, campfires.
Coffees,
It
beers.
was heaven, wasn't it? It was heaven. Freedom for 3 days. Oh, it was so
The riding the roads out there just...
Next level. Next level. We've got a video dropping on the YouTube channel next week, I think.
I thought you were going to tell everybody you'd been gone to Mallorca, get the gloves back on because you're going to get into Man United after the farcical weekend that they've had in the goalkeeping department.
Never mind Ben, I might put a CV in.
Good segue. I like it, Watto. Right, so we're going to talk about Man United. The big news before the game was that Onana had been dropped.
Yeah.
What did you make of it?
Well, look, I think ultimately when you play for Man United, you can't play in goal and make the amount of mistakes he's made. So I think he's been lucky to get this far down the line without being dropped. And I think Ben and Deere coming in, but they're signing for £4.5 million. Yeah. You don't play in goal for Man United if you're a £4.5 million signing, and that's not being disrespectful. They probably thought that's a good fee, get some development into him, but you can see he's not going to play in the Premier League. He's probably a third choice goalie, really, not a second choice goalie at a club like that. And I think the drop off's huge because he didn't play well yesterday. Obviously, it opens the door for Onana to get back in again. But look, I were at Birmingham-Peterborough, and Birmingham are going to be a championship club next year. And if I'm honest, I probably wouldn't take either of them to go and play at Birmingham.
Incredible.
If I'm honest with you.
Well, look at you then, Fozzie. So, if he gets back in, same's going to happen again, right?
Yeah.
It's not a case of confidence. He's just not up to it.
He's not up to it, but I think his confidence is shot. It's completely shot. The 2 goals that he let in the week in the Europa League, it was so painful to watch. The first goal in particular, it's so elementary. It really, really is. You know, as a goalie in that position, the first thing you think is, right, can that player score direct from there? Is he going to be able to score direct? And no, no chance on this earth. Take all the players out of it, there's no way that player can score from there. You could try 100 times and he still wouldn't score past you. But then you introduce all the players into it, and that's where, as a goalie, you need to be a little bit calmer under pressure. You need to know what's going on. You have to hold your line as long as you can because, you know, players are going to be whipping across it. They're going to be trying to get a little flick, a little nudge. But at the end of the day, there's a fine line where you have to go, I have to go for the original ball here, and I have to make sure this don't go in the net. Yeah. And he waits too long. He doesn't even get his hands on it. The fact that he doesn't get his hands on it, Watto, is honestly, it's phenomenal. You know where it's going to bounce. You've seen that bounce thousands of times as a goalie, and he doesn't even get his hands on it. And I think as players, Robbo, I'll come to you. As defenders, right, when you turn around and you see your goalie do that, it must just take it out of you.
As a defender, yeah, because like you say, you're expecting your goalkeeper to save them shots that are coming your way that are easy and simple. But yeah, you lose confidence as a defender, and you're losing confidence in what's behind you. But it's a big call by Amorim at the weekend to totally leave him out altogether. But where did Man United go now? They spent £47 million on him. So now with recruitment in the summer, you're looking at another goalkeeper that they're going to bring in.
This is like that.
I don't think they will.
Right, no,
but they've got to. They've got to. Yeah,
they have to, Robbo, because... Right, so now, right, United are in such a bad place. We spoke about the finances last week, didn't they? They're in such a bad place. They owe 200 million quid in the summer. They owe 500 million in total, right, on players that already play for them. And they need a whole revamp of the squad. A whole revamp, yeah? Realistically, we're talking 6, 8, 10 players.
Easy.
Yeah? Realistically. And now they have to get a new goalie.
Yeah.
And where are you going to get a new goalie from? Like, where? If you want a proper goalie in the Premier League to be able to challenge and to do well, you're paying 50, 60 million quid. You are. You ain't getting...
There's one on the South Coast that's pretty good.
Who's this?
Aaron.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It depends what they're looking for. It really does. But if they want to...
I think they just want one who can actually keep goal, don't they?
It's not... It's the mistakes, mate, is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the mistakes. If you look at the top goalies in the world, right, you're looking at Thibaut and you're looking at Emi Martinez and Alisson, goalies like that. It's because they don't make mistakes. They're known as the top goalies in the world because they very rarely make mistakes. Couple it with the fact that they make unbelievable saves, massive saves at big moment, match-winning saves. They're confident, they come out and they help the team. But it's about the mistakes, about not making mistakes. And Onana, this season, we went through it. We went through it. Honestly,
A couple of weeks ago,
we're in the double figures, Robbo. We're in the double figures.
They're on to third. I saw something there. I think it's 13.
It's too many. It's crazy. Too many.
Yeah, Ben, you were on the way back from Wembley yesterday.
Yeah.
Were you at all surprised that Newcastle have rolled them over 4-1?
No, not one little bit. Not one little
And
bit.
if before the game, if you'd have said 4-1, would you have gone, ooh, not sure about that?
No, that sounds about right. It absolutely sounds about, especially against Newcastle, when I think United had such a chance as well. Without Eddie Howe, and they're trying to play it down, Newcastle, weren't they? And by the way, we wish him well. We don't know what's wrong, but we wish him well. They were trying to play it down, and the squad will still be able to compete and do what they do. But I think if you're Man United, it's a real opportunity to get amongst the players and go, lads, they haven't got that figure at the side of the pitch that gets them all going. We can really get into these today. Newcastle are so good. Newcastle are so well organised. They know exactly what they're doing, don't they?
They look like it's two totally polar opposites of football clubs and football teams, because Newcastle now are the real deal. Real good management structure, recruited well. We know what St James's Park is. They've managed to get over the line with a trophy. The momentum for them is phenomenal, and we get in the extra spot now for the Champions League, 5th place. It's all in their hands. They've got a game in hand, and they're probably the one team in the league now you won't want to play, Newcastle.
This is this little Champions League tussle, Robbo. This is brilliant, isn't it? This will keep us going now until the end of the season.
Yeah, I'd love to see Newcastle in it. I watched them yesterday and I thought they were immense. Like every week now I watch them, I just find them entertaining.
They're so impressive.
But they're also solid. When you look at their backline with Trippier, Byrne,
Livramento,
Shaw with the goal, left back. Livramento's a right back, and Pope in goal. Another a goalkeeper we're talking about.
Solid, mate.
He makes saves. He makes saves at the right times and keeps his team in there. So and then going forward with Harvey Barnes back fit now, they're just so exciting. Isak, love him. Top striker.
Is Newcastle everyone's favourite?
Like second team?
Yeah, second team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want well for Newcastle.
I know what you mean.
I want well.
I wonder what they'll do about it.
How far, right? We were talking about this with Villa last week, actually. How far and how many signings are Newcastle away from challenging in the Premier League?
Well, the way that they're playing, I would say not far. When you look at them, because they've got a great balance. They've got solid midfield, great attacking ability up top, and a solid back line. Would you want to add to the back line maybe that little bit more know-how of Champions League football when they get there, that more experience, another goalkeeper in case Pope does go down, a world-class goalkeeper? So, I don't think they're far at all, and I think they've got a really good manager.
You always have to kind of look at who the best team in England is at the minute. Liverpool, we'll agree that?
Yep, for sure.
I think if Liverpool are playing Newcastle tomorrow, there's not much in it.
But Liverpool have been having a wobble, though, as well. When you look at it, they've been having a little bit of a wobble, It's that consistency.
When you go through team for player for player,
it's not a million miles away.
It's not like there's 10, 11 Liverpool players in. Like, if you were to do a Man United versus Newcastle, you'd pretty much pick the whole Newcastle team.
It literally is the whole...
Yeah.
I was doing it yesterday after the game, and I was looking and thinking, I am not taking one of them. I'm not taking one of them Man United players.
So what do you think, then, like Newcastle now? Because I think defensively maybe one or two.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe a wide attacking player, a bit of extra cover, or maybe a starter with Murphy. But what's your thought?
Exactly that. Jacob Murphy has been a revelation this season,
But extra cover.
The extra cover, you'd want a bit of a world beater. If they're going to improve, they need to get somebody that's going to come into the starting lineup. But again, it's to improve a top Premier League team now, you're talking 50, 60 mil, aren't you?
But the thing is, for them, mate, it's the level of getting that Champions League spot and what the extra burden brings to the team. So Newcastle will have the platform now to go and sign these players because they're in that Champions League. The money's there for them, and it's whether they can maintain in the league. So I think you do have to get a little bit better in certain areas for sure, but you have to strengthen that squad so there's no big drop-off when you want to make sure you've resting 3 or 4 for the weekend or the midweek Champions League game. They've still got to be capable to go and win them football matches.
Can we talk about Ruben Amorim's playing style, please, lads? Because I've got a little... Obviously, off the back of the Masters yesterday, everybody's a bit sad and upset that it's finished, you know, but don't be sad that it's finished. Be thankful that it was there in the beginning, OK? So I've got a golf analogy for you, all right? I think Manchester United at this moment in time, right, look at them as golf clubs. Golf club brands, OK? They're not your TaylorMades. They're not your Titleist anymore.
Spalding.
We're Spalding, yeah? We're Dunlop. We're Slazenger, OK? That's who Man United are. Right now. But not only are we Slazengers, yeah? You've got a manager that's trying to play with a putter off the tee, yeah? He's trying to play with a 4-iron and float a 100-yard shot in and stop it on the green, right? He's trying to play with a 3-wood out of a greenside bunker, yeah? It's just not going to work, right? It's not going to work, yeah? So why don't he look at this squad that he's got, squad of players, right, and go talk to his senior players, talk to the coaches, the players that have been at the club and people that have been at the club for a long time and go, right, what do you think is the best position and the best style of play for this group of players, right? Because the way that I'm trying to play, it is not suitable.
But he's not... I don't think he's viewing it that way, is he? Isn't he saying, like, isn't he just, this is our system, and with the players that I've got, we're trying to adapt them, but ultimately there's going to be a big overhaul in the summer, and they'll come into this system.
Exactly that. So there's going to be a big overhaul, right? So why don't you wait to the summer when you've had that big overhaul where you can really identify the specialists, the players that he needs in certain slots, certain positions to do the job that can play the system
because he's
that
not
he
under,
wants
he's
to
not
play.
under pressure.
I
don't think he is. I
totally disagree.
I think with this Ratcliffe thing that all came out, it seems like they can lose and lose and lose, and fair play to the fans. They're saying, no,
they're
the guy.
I disagree.
Well,
I think they're losing goodwill.
If Jamie stuck a league table up and you actually see in the cold light of day, you look at it, Spurs and Man United, where they are in the table, it is like mind-blowing that 2 teams could be like that.
I think Man United fans are losing that goodwill with every passing day. If they lose in the Europa League on Thursday, I think Amorim, don't get me wrong, he's going to stay to the end of the season, but he'll be at a place where if they get off to a bad start at the beginning of the next season and they lose 3 or 4 out of 5 or 6 or 7, he'll get sacked.
But this is what they did last season.
Yep.
They kept Ten Hag, spent all the money, because if they keep him and go big in the transfer window, which they have to.
They can't, though.
Right? But this is Ten Hag 2.0. Because if they lose 4 out the first 8 next season, they are in the identical position.
They're in a pickle, is what they are.
But what they can't do, mate, is they can't back Amorim's style in the market. Because if they are going to pull the trigger and he only gets 7 games, they can't be signing players for 3-4-3 because there's no other manager in the league going to play always 3-4-3. You've got to be adapted. This is the best league in the world. You can't just walk into a job and say, I'm 3-4-3, we'll recruit in the summer, all of a sudden...
So is he going to... Can they afford to sack him? Do you think he will be the manager at the start of next season, Robbo?
It's tough to call at the moment, but the way that they're playing, I would say no. I'd say they'd change.
Watto?
I think they'll stick with him, but I think it's so tight because of how bad they've been. They must be talking about it every day. And if you're in that leadership group at Man United and you see that performance yesterday, you're so far away from Newcastle United, so far away, and then you actually look at the table, what we've just shown. It can't happen, and that's why he has to be under pressure.
They've got no leaders in that team whatsoever, right? Roy Keane said something really interesting after the game. He was talking about Bruno Fernandes, and he's been wheeled out as usual. Bruno Fernandes, he's the mouthpiece of this Man United team. He's the captain. He's the leader, apparently. And they're just sound bites now. He's just coming out with the same old sound bites. But Roy Keane said, if you're a real good teammate, a real leader, you place demands on the rest of your teammates. You expect from them, you shout at them, you tell them what you need in. And I don't get that anybody in that Man United team is making any demands of anybody else. I think everybody is at the point now where confidence is so low and they feel so negatively that they are just looking after themselves now. They're strapped on this big turtle armour suit and going, no, I've
put the life vests on.
Self-preservation.
Drifting in the South China Sea into oblivion.
Self-preservation.
Do you think so in training? today and this week? Who's driving it and who's saying, from the players, who's saying, we want more, I need more?
I really don't think there's any of them. I don't think there is. I think they're now just fully focusing on Thursday. What they'll be doing is trying to build confidence back up and go, right, lads, come on, we've still got a massive chance to make the season a success. If we win this game on Thursday, we've got a massive chance. It's almost like they forgot that they had a Premier League game yesterday, by the way. They didn't even approach it properly. It was almost an afterthought. It was all, we've got a game on Thursday. We've got a game on Thursday. Forget this Newcastle game. We've got a game on Thursday. This is Man United you're talking about. I just think as well, if Amorim can get a squad competing at least between now and the end of the season by playing whatever system suits that squad of players, he might get a bit of goodwill back. And then do it.
You're feeling sorry for the younger lads as well now, having to come into the team to play, because the expectation levels of them young players now is even more intensified, because any mistake for them, their confidence is going to get dropped and lowered, and you're not going to have a senior player like Bruno who's going to be out there to help them, because it does, like you say, you're looking at him as the main thing. And I actually do feel quite sorry for him, because there is games where he is the match winner. He's the one who drives the team, but even he's looking like frustrated now as if to say, well, what more do you want me to do?
It's a big ask for him.
And the voice is like, no one's listening. So when I am calling out people, no one's paying attention.
What's your thoughts, right? So obviously you've got the management team in there, and you know you often hear about people don't understand the culture or the fabric of the club. What's your thoughts on a Man United ex going in there, one of these ex-players that knows the club, part of the coaching team, or is that interfering with the existing coaching team?
Yeah, I don't think it's a necessity. I don't, because if you look at some of the other teams that have done it properly, you don't need anything. Look at Liverpool, right? Look at Liverpool. The owner comes in and he's got a very set, strict way of doing things, right? And he's very lucky that he's got a set of leaders in that team that can basically marshal themselves. They govern the team themselves. Everything looks after itself because the standard is set and they just keep it going. It's as simple as that. So I don't know if bringing in somebody with a bit of history with the club can do that. I don't think that works like that anymore.
It's about clutching at straws, isn't it?
It's about having the leaders. You've got to have leaders in a football club, and United just haven't got them. It's as simple as that.
Recruitment. We go back to Newcastle again and we look at what they're doing at the moment, and you look at the spine of their team and you look at what Eddie's done, the recruitment's been brilliant.
Solid, isn't it?
It's been solid.
It's so solid. It's so solid. Before we move on, we're going to talk about Ange and Tottenham and the game against Wolves yesterday, which is bonkers.
Come on,
that's bonkers. A bit of goalie talk quickly then. Onana. Again, I've got a little bit of a theory for you, Watto. I think Onana is really struggling at this moment in time, and some of the mistakes he's made this season, I think, have come about from. So take it back to when he signed, right? Remember when he first signed for Man United, and he was this front-footed goalkeeper that would play 50 yards out. Yeah, he got scored past in pre-season game, didn't he? Straight away, signs for Man United, got scored past from the halfway line. Very quickly, he kind of went, I don't know if I'm going to get away with this in the Premier League. I might have to... So he's lost that part of his game, right? I think a big part of Onana's game was being busy, was being out there and being part of it, right? When you play for Man United, you know you're not necessarily going to have a million things to do. Well, actually, you probably will do at this moment in time, right? But I think he needs that being busy to keep his brain occupied. It's very difficult for some goalkeepers to be able to just stop, not do anything, not touch the ball for 10, 15 minutes at a time, and then all of a sudden be asked to make a massive save, yeah? It's a really big skill, isn't it? One of the best goalkeepers I've seen at doing this, Edwin van der Sar, when he was at United, didn't have anything to do for 40 minutes, would make a worldy save in the top corner because he can just keep himself going. I don't think Onana's got that ability. I think when the big moments come, when the shots come where he needs to be calm but focused at the same time, he needs that intensity but relaxed with it. I don't think he's got it. I think he panics too much. I think he stresses too much. And when it comes to that little moment where he needs to get a block on it, but divert it, just soften his wrist a bit and divert it over there, out of harm's way, he's tensing up, he's stressing up, and he's just getting a block there. He's getting a barrier there. And so many times I just see the ball coming straight back out like it's hit a wall, and boom, the rebound is going in. And I think that's where he's found himself.
Look, I think the drop-off to sign him and let De Gea go, we've spoke about it numerous times. He's probably a very good goalie in his own right, but he's definitely not a Man United goalie. Yeah. And I think he's got all on to be a Premier League goalie, if I'm brutally honest.
Yeah.
But then who's accountable for that then? Recruitment-wise, would you say, Ben?
It's got to be
because you've played at Man United as a goalkeeper.
Yeah,
so you know the levels, you know the expectation of what's wanted from a Man United player. just in general, a Man United player. So now as a goalkeeper, you're going through this bad patch, and who's there now to support him through that, one? But two, now recruitment-wise, are you looking at these players properly to bring these people in that are Man United players?
That's the problem.
Because we'll go back now for like years. Man United's always been a 4-4-2. They've always been like a solid 4-4-2. Wingers out wide, crosses in the box, Van Nistelrooy, bang, goal. That's the way Man United. Now we're coming away from, we're talking about like Amorim with the 3-4-3. It's players are not built to change their sort of like their mind of playing in these formations. Like Garnacho, we've seen him before where he was playing wide. He's dangerous. He causes loads of problems. When he's now asked to play as at 3, it's like he's lost. He doesn't understand. He doesn't know. So behind the scenes now, who's the people that are helping these players to like go through these sort of like changes?
This is why I think Ruben Amorim shouldn't play this formation and this style that he's trying to play, because he's trying to make players play in positions that aren't used to playing in their positions. If you've got a world-class holding midfielder that sits on the halfway line, right, and that's his job, and he's made a career of doing it, he's made a name of doing it, that's what he's world-class at doing, right? And then all of a sudden Amorim comes in and goes, I want you to get forward more. He's like, I can't do that though. That's not my job. That's not what I'm good at doing. Like, why would you want him to do that for?
But that's when it all goes back to the recruitment, doesn't it? So you go in to the point in question, why is Onana at Man United? He's at Man United because they didn't sack Ten Hag, and Ten Hag wanted him in his goals. I'm telling you now that I don't think he were on a list at Man United, wouldn't be in the top 10, maybe not top 20, but Ten Hag wanted him, knew him from his Ajax days, and they've gone and backed the manager who they weren't sure were going to stay. And they've brought him, his goalie, in, and he's gone.
Yeah.
That's the reality of it. It's bonkers, isn't it?
It's double bonkers.
We're gonna have to move on. Otherwise,
We're gonna have to move
we
on.
do a whole show.
You could do a whole show. You could do a whole show, and it is mind-boggling that it's got to where it is. It is, isn't it?
That's crazy.
We talked about the Golden Palace and the Vitor Pereira.
The Golden Palace, McDonald's.
Did you see him? Did you see Vitor Pereira in a clip of him going around in Weatherspoons?
No, go on.
Fans?
Was he having a few pints
in Wolverhampton?
Yeah.
Too
Good
good
lad.
lad.
Proper manager.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday that was one where I was going to go yesterday, but didn't go in the end. But again, it didn't surprise me.
No, it didn't surprise me.
Spurs are just hot and cold, aren't they?
Yeah, we were driving down to Wembley and the game kicks off and, straight back to the Tottenham game and, Wolves, well done, mate, they're 1-0 up. And it was just, you saw it coming, and having watched all the highlights after the game as well, just Spurs don't half know how to shoot themselves in the foot, don't they?
They just make a mess of it, don't they? I mean, a great day for Wolves and a game they'd have been looking forward to.
Yeah.
The timing's right, isn't it? You've got Spurs in between the European games, and you just know that you're going to get some opportunities. And if you press and work in the right areas, they're going to give you the ball. Whether it's the goalie, whether it's going to be the centre-halves, whether it's the midfield player, all of them are going to give you an opportunity. And I think Wolves' coaching staff, manager, obviously, gave them a real good game plan. And Spurs do what Spurs do. Just
what do you
played
make,
into their hands.
Robbo, of goalies trying to play out from the back this? Because when you played,
If it's on.
it's fair to say when you played, it was a lot more simple, wasn't it? Goalies weren't expected to do that.
Yeah.
Defenders, then you knew what to do. You could get up the pitch, but now it's completely different.
Yeah, the game's totally changed, and it's going to get worse in my eyes with the way that the style of football is. But then you've got to buy players that can do it, and there's not many of them around that can do it. I'm watching defenders doing it, and I'm thinking you're not good enough to do it.
Yeah.
That's why these goals are going in the way they are. It's like we're looking at the Tottenham's defence. They're all over the place. You've got Jed Spence playing at left back, who's not a left back, he's a right back, but he goes walkabouts. He ends up yesterday when I was watching the game, he's ending up on the right-hand side. There's no one at left back. And you're looking at it, you're going, well, what's going on here?
What way you're playing, mate?
But it's like players have lost the way of the art of defending. Yeah. It's like we've now created a game where it's everyone's gung-ho and should be going forward as much as possible, whereas just do your job.
Do you know what I heard the other day? And it was, I think, Gary Neville on the Overlap. He was talking about the last 3 years, I think it is, the players who have had the most touches or made the most passes have all been defenders.
Yeah.
It's Lewis Dunk, it's your Virgil van Dijk, it's your Ruben Dias. Yeah. And why are we asking players that aren't absolutely world-class with the ball at their feet and playing these passes why are we asking them to be the main guy that starts stuff? Are we ever going to get to the place where you're playing a back four of world-class ball-playing midfielders? Are we ever going to get to that?
Franz Beckenbauer.
Do you know what I mean? Franz
yeah.
Beckenbauer willing to get the ball on the half-turn and turn out and hold players off and then play intricate 1-2s and all this kind of stuff. We're asking goalkeepers to do stuff. I keep saying it, right? On a team of 11 players, yeah, the goalkeeper is comfortably the worst footballer. Comfortably, yeah? He is miles behind the other 10. He's a goalkeeper. He is very good with the ball at his hands, at stopping shots, right? But put the ball on the floor, I don't want to touch it, mate. It's a hot potato. I wasn't built doing that. That's not why I'm a professional footballer, right? Them 10 are. You are comfortably the worst footballer, but yet you're still being given one of the biggest jobs to get it started. And then they pop it back to you, and you've got a player shelling it at you. And I'm thinking, oh no, this is carnage.
Like, your manager's asking you still to play through that.
Intricate. Yeah, just pop it there.
Because they want to be in and out, and yeah.
I'm not good enough to do that. Goalies aren't good enough to do that.
Edison's the only one that's good enough to do that.
Probably Edison.
When you look at Man City with the way that he plays, he's probably the only goalkeeper that you would say he's comfortable with both feet.
Exactly. The other ones, you look at the big boys again. I've mentioned already, you know, Emi Martinez, Alisson, David Raya, yeah? They're all good with the ball at the feet when it's on, when it's sensible. 4 goalkeepers. They're good 4 goalkeepers. And when it's easy to do and when it's sensible to do, they do it. But any other time, they just shell it long.
Yeah.
They do. The ball comes back to them, and if there's any kind of pressure or any risk of it, they will just shell it long. There's this fable that David Raya is world class at playing out from the back. He's good at playing out from the back. Yeah. But he's sensible enough and clever enough to know that any hint of danger, go long. Yeah. Cheers,
and
mate.
that's the same with Alisson, and that's why he's one of the best.
It's not rocket science, is it?
No, on 1v1, and he did it against West Ham yesterday, 2 or 3 big moments. But he plays safer with the ball at his feet.
Yeah. The problem is now, though, is like even the newly promoted teams have fallen into this, and this is why we see now 3 teams get promoted, same 3 teams get relegated, and you struggle to see that trend breaking. But I think it's because they're all coming up. And you've got young managers, and I understand that these young managers want to play a certain philosophy, but Kieran McKenna, you know, Russell Martin, when they come up, it's all the same. Yeah. And actually, you could think to yourself, if you went back to the start of the season and those clubs geared themselves up to play like a Pulis used to,
a bit of disruptive football,
would they be relegated already? And you'd probably go, well, probably not, because if every team's trying to play the same, right? There's better teams, there's better players than you.
Southampton had it right when they appointed Hassan Hootel, because we weren't a team that were really good with ball possession or in charge of the ball, but to have an identity in the league, to stay in the league, we had to be amazing against the ball. And because we pressed really high, if you nicked it, you were going to get a chance because you were nicking it high rather than starting in this low mid-block. You're 60, 70 yards away from their goal. And you're not going to get enough chances.
Our team's trying to use every tool at their disposal to stay in the league, or our managers trying to create their own philosophy identity.
It's a dress rehearsal for a bigger job, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, look at Vincent Kompany.
I also think as a player, take your own responsibility. On the pitch, you understand your game, but you also understand the risks that you're taking. So as an individual, you now take the responsibility of when is the right time to play back to your goalkeeper. If you're playing back to him, I was taught, don't play between the goal. Play to the side of the goal, because now the goalkeeper has got, like you say, if it's a bobbly pitch, now he's got the opportunity of it not going past his foot and into the goal. But then you was also taught of make another angle. So now you move to help the goalkeeper if you are playing it back to him. So now you're giving him a different option of, if he needs to shell it, 2 now I'm giving him a better option to give me the ball, knowing now that I've got a better angle to play out, to like encourage the team to press. Or then you've got that, like you say, your midfielder now, he'll drop and be on a different angle to then that pass through. You're always thinking. So as a player, I was always thinking of my game of knowing, I'm not putting that player under pressure because it's not on. So I'll make the decision myself and either clear my lines, or I'll try and find a different pass that is not going to cause my the goalkeeper any problems.
Fozzie, what do you make of this leak at Tottenham? So there's this Ange saying that he's no doubt there's been a leak. There's however many instances over the season. Is he right in airing this?
I think he's wrong in airing it. I really do, because it's something that you can deal with internally. We were actually talking about it before the show, and Watto said it perfectly. He said it absolutely perfectly. So crack on. So how do these leaks happen, Watto?
Yeah, well, so like for me, at various clubs throughout my bits, there might have been somebody come out very rarely with a piece of information that shouldn't be there. But predominantly in these situations, over my vast experience of it, the team's normally picked and you have that last team meeting, and a player at that point is either in or out.
It's on a Friday normally.
Yeah.
It's normally
and
on a Friday.
if you're dropped from that position, the normal process, I would have said, was I'd phone my wife or my family and say, look, you're not going to need the tickets today because I'm not playing tomorrow. I'm a bit pissed with it, but I'm not playing. So I'm telling you, let's change his weekend plans. But the modern player doesn't operate like that. As soon as he comes out of the team meeting, even maybe before the session, agent, fucking manager's dropped me, I'm not in tomorrow. And the agent, all right, I'll tell you what we'll do, and then before anybody's even left the training ground, the story's out there. And that is, in my opinion,
right, okay.
the modern way.
I understand that, but my kind of take on it would be that Tottenham and the club that they are and the team that they are, does it matter if the teams leak, for example? They should still be winning some of these games.
Yeah, it's not necessarily just starting lineup. It's other sensitive
information around the club.
It might be triggers of when a player's going to go and press, or when to drop off, or the game plan against if Tottenham are playing a Liverpool tomorrow or Wolves, and all of a sudden it's a drastic change of, oh, you know what, we're not just going to sit back and wait and be passive. We're going to be on the front foot. We're going to press high. That sort of information there, if you're the opposition team, can be really invaluable, because you can look at it and go, right, well, if they're going to do that, then we know exactly what we need to do, so you can get off to a good footing in the game. And that's the little bit of information there that can be really, really invaluable. But like what I says there, most of the time they're doing it as soon as they come out from the meeting. They go and lock themselves in a little toilet cubicle, or they'll go around the side of the building, yeah, and they're straight on the phone like that, and the agent's going, okay, cool, yeah, no worries, I'll get it out there, don't worry. I'll get it out there.
So what's the latest with Ange then? Like a little bit like Amorim. Is he going to be there next season, do you think?
No chance. No chance on this earth. I was listening to the TalkSport Drive show last night on the way home from Wembley, and Tottenham fans are not happy. Tottenham fans are not happy one little bit. They want him gone today. They want him out of this club. They don't want him to take charge for the European game on Thursday. It was actually really interesting listening to it last night, because you had Alan Pardew on there, obviously ex-manager, and he went down the line of, I think it's a bad idea to sack him now. I think there's too much upheaval between now and the Europa League game. They need a little bit of consistency at least. It looks like from the first leg that Ange has got the marker of Frankfurt a little bit, so he knows what to expect from them. It's fun and games at Spurs.
Question for you, Robbo. So if you're part of a coaching staff, right, as you have been, what would you rather do? Would you rather come in with 6 games left of the current season, or would you rather take over fresh in pre-season?
Yeah, your biggest goal would be to take over in pre-season, because it's a fresh start. It's your squad, it's your rebuilding. You're then getting a full pre-season with them. You're getting them to understand the shape, your philosophy with what you want to get across to the players. So for me, the biggest thing is to start in the season, summer fresh. There's no point in changing it now. There's no point. There's 6 games to go. It's just too much. Unless you put Ryan Mason in charge, who's been there for donkey's years, and he knows the club, he knows the players. So there's that little bit of you've still got that sort of know-how in there.
What's the point, though?
But Ange, I just feel sorry for him. I do feel sorry for him in the sense of I think he's a really good manager, but I also think he's a real good man. When you hear him talk, he talks honestly. And he says it how it is. A lot of people now don't like the way that people have said how it is, but he's true to his word in what he says. And they've missed some big players over the season, like Van der Ven, who I see as he can be a top class centre half, but he's never fit. You've missed him. Udogi's out, left back. Vicario's been out with an ankle problem. Kulusevski's injured. Like Son's not the same player. He's sort of in that in between now where the squad needs refreshing. But he can only do that in the summer now, with the window coming up. But will he get that? Like you're saying, will he get that summer to rebuild?
Do you want me to tell you where it all went wrong for Spurs? Do you want me to tell you?
Enlighten us.
I'm intrigued.
It's the moment Harry Kane left. Simple as that. Right? Simple as
The
that.
best striker in the world?
Exactly that. I'll explain why. Because he is a world-class player, right? And the second you sell a world-class player, unless you're a Man City or a Liverpool who can replace it with a world-class player, whoever you bring in is going to be a massive drop-off because you don't get to replace world-class players because there's not many of them. So the drop-off is going to be massive. So not only will they not be able to put the numbers out of a Harry Kane, Dominic Solanke is a fantastic player. He'll do a great job for you. He'll never get the numbers of Harry Kane. Never. Nobody will. Nobody can go and replicate that. He's a world-class player. So not only will you not get the goals and the assists of what Harry Kane, but the mental cost of it all, the mental cost to Tottenham of confidence being dropped, knowing you haven't got this figure that will drag you through games and score goals out of nothing, right? And not only that, of what it does to the opposition as well. When you're playing against a Harry Kane, you can't give him a second, You're on your toes, you are worried, you're thinking he could just score at a moment's notice here. Focus goes off of all the other players, it's always on Harry Kane, right? But if you haven't got Harry Kane, it's like, well, we can go about our business.
It's almost a guarantee of 22 goals a season.
Guarantee. How much is a guarantee of 22 goals a season? How much would a top Premier League team...
But that's where you want other players to then chip in, don't you? And like you say, with Spurs at the moment, they've just got Brennan Johnson, who's being their goal scorer. And he's a young lad still learning the game, still developing. And it's like you say, it's no Harry Kane, your vocal point of the team, defenders scared to death of, oh my God, every time we give him half a yard, he's going to score. He's got that chance. Tottenham haven't got that. Yeah. And there's a pressure. Solanke's got so much pressure now on his shoulders because everyone's looking at him and going, well, you've replaced Harry Kane. Yeah. Come on then. But it's not like that.
The fear factor for Spurs, fear factor for Man United, it doesn't exist anymore. Does not exist anymore.
Big summer for Tottenham, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got some big decisions to make, some very big football in the Premier League.
Yes, they
because they are sliding further and further down that.
We've said it for weeks. It's only getting more competitive. Yeah. The middling teams are getting better. Yeah. The standard is getting better, isn't it? It's only that bottom 3 or 4 this season where you kind of go, God,
it's the bottom 3. Yeah. It's literally just the bottom 3.
You can get rid of Ange, like we're discussing here, but I'm not sure whether any top manager, and there's plenty of them in the Premier League, we've discussed it on this show numerous times, would want to go into that environment.
Listen, they've had top.
Yeah,
they've had Conte, they've had Mourinho, they've had big managers there, haven't they?
Yeah.
And it's just not worked. So all points at the club.
The only thing in his favour, isn't it? You've had them two. Pochettino, who I believe were the holy grail for him, still didn't win anything. He's still got a chance to win this whatever tournament.
Europa.
Describe it
Would Spurs fans want Poch back?
I think they'd go all in for him back.
Lukey boy? Yeah.
100%?
Mate, Poch ain't coming back, right? He's USA manager.
Yeah, he's living the dream now, isn't he?
So cushy. So cushy. He's living out in America. I guarantee you he's living in somewhere like a nice Florida or something. Lovely and warm, He's wearing his shorts and flip-flops every day. Bowls out for the national team once every 3 months.
But the biggest positivity is he's not got to deal with Levy, has he?
Yeah, that as well. I'd say that would be... Yeah, they are mates, actually, aren't they? Yeah. Before we do move on, though, we're going to talk about Liverpool and Salah and Van Dijk and all that. Your boys, Wolves, I saw that little badge-kissing weasel, Matheus Cunha, when he scored that 4th goal against Spurs, kissing the badge, and I love you to all the Wolves fans. It's great.
Yeah, it's a good buy, isn't it?
Did you see what he was doing in the week with his Instagram? Causing a bit of... grief, apparently. He was saying that, I've got to follow my heart and I've got to follow my mind and I've got to do what's right for me. And there were Wolves fans kicking off on it and, it'll be funny to see.
It will be interesting here because he is, outside of the big boys, for me, one of, if not the best player in the league. And... I've just got these reservations as to whether an Arteta, the club, will get their hierarchy together and go, is this the right character for us? Because it seems like at Arsenal, that's so high up on the agenda, and we've seen the behind-the-scene documentaries.
He's fully getting involved with Instagram spats and stuff with fans. Like, what are you doing, mate? Come on.
Yeah, he is. And it'll be interesting to see how Wolves go next season. I mean, I don't read too much into it. The form has been fantastic.
Wolves have been brilliant without them, in fairness, haven't they?
But it's kind of safe to say Wolves are safe now. They've been safe for a couple of games, and they're playing teams like Spurs who have got nothing to play for in the Premier League. So whilst it's positive, you don't read too much into it. Yeah,
let's address it in the summer and see where they are starting next season. Should we talk about Liverpool, lads?
What, Big Mo?
Big Mo signed his new deal. How much we reckon? £500,000, £600,000 a week?
I've been trying to think about it. Honestly, for Liverpool to potentially come out of this situation with 2 out of the 3 lads staying.
Unbelievable.
I can't imagine the wages they're having to pay them.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's obviously not going to be Saudi wages, but I don't think we've got any comprehension of how much they're paying these lads, because they'd let it get to such a situation, and it's phenomenal that if both of them do sign, but the money, it could be £1 million a week. Honestly, it's crazy.
Metaphorically, Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah have bent Liverpool over and gone, right, just give me exactly what I want, all right? And they've gone, yep, cool, that's fine.
And it's actually made the situation for the guy behind you a lot worse.
Oh, hasn't it? Oh, poor lad.
But he's got Real Madrid calling.
I know, it's not the end of the world, is it?
It's a different...
When we talk about, like, wage structures, Ben, in, like, a club, I think... Would it be fair to say that everybody at the club, the rest of the playing squad would understand that this is extenuating circumstances for these 2 guys, Salah and VVD, because they are in a world 11. Yes. They're both in there.
They're both in there, and they will just be grateful, basically, the other players that they've re-signed, because they need them. On a Saturday afternoon,
more win bonuses.
On a Wednesday night in the Champions League, more win bonuses, more success for the club. It's always nice to be part of a good, unified football team. And these 2 committing their futures to the club for the next 3 years is honestly...
So Mo's on 2... I believe he's on a, 2-year...
2-year deal.
2-year new deal.
Yeah.
But what it brings to the club as well is they're going to win the Premier League, and when you're talking about recruitment again, and when you see that these lads have signed, so wherever Liverpool have put the little markers down for where they need to get stronger, if all 3 of them lads had gone, these lads who they're potentially signing are thinking, I'm not going in, it's a bit too... But signing them 2, or re-signing them 2, it makes the recruitment in the summer so much easier, because the top ones are going to want to come.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're losing 2 players on free transfers, and to replace those 2 world-class players, it's impossible. It's impossible. There's not a better right winger in the world, and there's not a better centre-back in the world.
Seriously cannot believe it, though, because I think the hierarchy, it will panic stations come January. And I didn't see it happening. So, fair play, and obviously...
They're actually...
Very, 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 very deep pockets at Liverpool.
They're going to come out of it looking like heroes, the Liverpool owners.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And all the chief they're going to come out of it looking like heroes.
But that's why I said it's worse for this guy, isn't it?
Yeah,
and I know
exactly
it's Real Madrid and everything, but, like, if the one that they could have lost is actually going, the 2 that were virtually irreplaceable are signing.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have they're going to have a lot sterner test next year.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know whether it will come from Arsenal.
No. I still think Liverpool probably do need to add a couple in the summer. I can see Nunez probably go in and get moved on, and I can see Liverpool probably wanting to replace Trent with a big boy, with a big name. So I think they've still got a bit of business to do, but if they can add a couple real good ones, they're going to be there or thereabouts come next season as well.
I like that Conor Bradley.
Yeah.
I like him.
Nice, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's the perfect replacement.
Yeah.
Again, obviously you're gonna find a backup, or you're gonna go and try and find someone that's better, because losing Trent's a big blow for Liverpool. But like we're saying, massive positives there, signing Salah, and then again Van Dijk. Hopefully, it's like you say, it's Liverpool now winning the league as well is going to help them.
Yeah.
So now that recruitment in the summer, and Arnie Slot's first major now sort of recruitment policy, where they're going to go next year, so it's only positive for Liverpool, really, and what they're doing.
You'd like to think he'll be backed quite heavily as well, wouldn't you, to be fair, off the back of winning the Premier League in your first season.
If they go and sign a main striker as well, if Nunez goes, then, the big things for Liverpool coming up, by the looks of it.
Should we have a look at the top 5?
Top 5 is
So can we have a look at the league, Jay?
Do you know what this weekend was? Is an absolute stinker for Notts Forest.
Correct.
It was a stinker. You said it best there, Watto, is that Everton, Notts Forest.
You're getting grief for calling them Notts Forest, by the way.
Nottingham Forest, sorry. They out Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is what Everton did.
People say it's either...
Because it's Notts County, isn't it?
Yeah,
people either say it's Forest...
Yeah, sorry. so yeah, it was a hammer blow for them. It really, really was, because now they look on their tails with Newcastle winning, Man City winning, Chelsea obviously dropped points, but Villa winning, and they're just thinking, oh no, this has got an air of an inevitability about it.
So what's your top 5, Ben? Come on.
I think Forest drop out. I do.
Do you really?
I think Forest drop out. I still think Villa are going to get in there. I think Chelsea will drop more points. I think Villa will see it through to the end of the season. Newcastle are an absolute guarantee for me. I think they're a guarantee. Man City seem to be able to just do enough to get over the line. I just think, unfortunately, Forest are just going to run out of gas.
Well, look at Newcastle and Villa's form. They've both won the last 4 Premier League games, haven't they?
What's Forest's fixtures coming up? That'd be interesting to see what their fixtures are.
They've got Spurs next.
So Spurs,
that's
3 points.
Win.
Is it at Forest? No, it's at Spurs.
That's a win.
Brentford. Do you know Brentford's a tough game?
Bad.
That's not an awful run-in, is it?
Tell you what, that's not a bad
So who have they got? So they've got Spurs away, Brentford at home, Palace away, Leicester at home, West Ham away, Chelsea at home.
That could be the decider to get in.
Be a big one, couldn't it?
Down to the last game of the season.
The fixtures are not too bad, but I just think that the other teams have just got the know-how to get the job done.
That's the bit, yeah.
You'd think City, Villa and Newcastle are probably going to pip them.
Yeah.
But, it'll be down to the wire, but you think the other teams might just have enough. And that will be a real shame because they've had a phenomenal season.
It's such a massive opportunity as well, with 5 places guaranteed for Champions League. It's almost, I'm not saying it's a now or never, but now is a massive opportunity to get Champions League football, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, it's massive. And you go back to the race. Chelsea yesterday drawing at home to Ipswich. It just can't happen with how bad the bottom 3 are. I like Ipswich. I like what McKenna's done, and I think they're the one at the 3 bottom teams who have shown a little bit more. But Chelsea have to beat them at home yesterday.
What's going on with Chelsea, Robbo? What
they're
is
just
it
having a blip, aren't they? It's started the season fantastic, and then now they're just going on this run where they're struggling to find results. Again, being 2-0 down, and then again, you can look at it as a positive, is that they've come back and got the point. But against a team like Ipswich, you should be expecting them to get 3 points.
Especially
that's what Chelsea should be looking at.
The first 15 matches of the season, they got 31 points, right? And there was genuine optimism and positivity. They could go and win it, and let's try and play it down.
But do you remember we spoke about, because Maresca came out when they were flying and said, we're not there.
Yeah,
and we were kind of saying, why would you say that?
Yeah.
And he's right.
Yeah, but I think him saying that gets into the heads of all those Chelsea players, and it makes them take their foot off the gas a bit.
All 200 of them.
I do. I just think it makes them take the foot off the gas a bit and go, do you know what? If the manager's not expecting it of us, then we don't really need to give it 110%. You know, the accountability's already been taken away from us because the manager said that he don't expect it from us. And
but you look at that running though.
This is Chelsea's fixtures. So next game, Fulham away, which is a horrible place to go. Then it's home to Everton, home to Liverpool, away at Newcastle, home to Man United, away at Forest.
3 points.
You're also looking at as well is that someone like a Cole Palmer at the start of the season was on fire, and he's having a bit of a blip at the moment.
He has,
So maybe was there that time to now just take him out of the team, give him that little breather, to then refresh him to come in again and then go.
The problem is though, Watto, he is like the absolute superstar.
Yeah, he is. But then sometimes though, there's that added pressure. Is that he's the expected one. Like Bruno Fernandes, he's the expected one to always be the one that's producing. But as a footballer, sometimes it's impossible.
As a young
you're going to go through.
It's the way
you're going to go through the stage of your career where you're going to have a blip, and you need sometimes that little bit of a reset. Come on, out you come. Nothing against what you're doing at the moment, but you just need to come out and just have that little bit of a breather. Yeah. Now you're recharged. Now you're back in corner. Now you've got that little bit more energy where you're going, I'm back again.
Is that almost like, again, a little bit like they don't have the seniority within there where maybe if he comes out, other big players really step up? Yeah. Because it doesn't seem like...
No, but that's where they've got to, isn't they? Yeah, but that's where players have to. Players have to take that responsibility, and they have to burden now the expectations of Palmer's not playing. I need to shine now, and I need to take that pressure off of him, and then I need to go on the pitch and produce. And yeah, it's like Chelsea. The expectation levels is all on Palmer.
Yeah. Is there a danger in football that I can't know the answer to this, but senior players now are overlooked, and because there's no resale value, and clubs are quite happy to just get them away from the club.
Yeah, they look at players for what their value is, not what their worth is. And they're two different terms, aren't they? The worth of a senior player to a football club is invaluable. It's invaluable. The standards that they set, the fact that players look up to them, they haven't got any value though, you know. On paper, on the balance sheet, they've got no value because they can't sell them for anything. And unfortunately, a lot of teams, Chelsea are an absolute prime candidate for it. They do things by signing young players that have got potential massive resale values, and they haven't got enough of the older players, senior players that are going to be leaders and help show these young players the way. And it's a symptom of modern football.
Look at two really, really good teams this season, and two players in particular, but the worth of a Lewis Dunk at Brighton or a Ben Mee at Brentford, they're really integral players.
Just as important, but in different ways. Just as important as the superstar of the team. Yeah, the older players are the ones that take the pressure away from them. They're the ones that give me the pressure. I'll deal with all this stuff. You just go and flourish. You just go and shine. But
you look at Ashley Young as well at Everton.
Same thing.
With what he's doing there, it's like he's not involved as what he was at the start of the season. But you now think of what he's doing behind the scenes to help these younger players who are playing his position. Guaranteed he'll be behind the scenes talking to them, like maybe do this, maybe that Seamus Coleman the same. Helping really these young lads to now develop in the Premier League and guide them then to go on and have great careers and keep doing what they're doing. There's not enough of them.
There is not enough of them. Should we start our own football club? I reckon we've got half a chance.
I think we're busy enough, mate.
I reckon we've got half a chance.
I think we're busy enough.
We talk a good game.
We do. Just a quick shout out. This last week on the Fozcast, we had Jack Butland on.
Yes.
So we'll put a little kind of clip or something on screen now, but it was a cracking podcast.
Brilliant podcast.
It's available on the Fozcast on Spotify.
Who we got next week on the Fozcast?
We've only got Petr Cech, haven't we?
The main man, Petr Cech, my all-time Premier League goalkeeping hero. What a legend. Honestly, what a legend.
What a goalie.
My gosh, can he talk?
Yeah.
He can talk.
So what you're saying is it's a 3-hour episode?
Oh, it's a 2-hour episode. Honestly,
it's 2 hours, Luke.
It's the longest podcast we ever did.
Love it.
Petr Cech, phenomenal. There's
a lot of stuff to get off his chest.
Honestly, there's two parts, right? One part is just pure goalkeeper geekery, right? And it is detailed, and it is the tiny little things that people just don't see or understand, and it is phenomenal. Phenomenal, lads. I had a semi on all the way through it. It was so good. So good. Quiz time?
Time for the quiz.
Welcome back to the quiz, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scores on the door.
We don't need to know that.
Tom is on 15, absolutely flying. Ben, you're on 11. Watto, you're on 5. And Robbo, you're representing the guest today. You're representing the guest, you're on 1.
Shocking, isn't it?
You're putting us under too much pressure before we start.
Toes on 3 as well, look at him.
Yeah, and the rules are, so I'll ask a question and you get one chance at it. If you get it wrong, you're out. But when I say all back in, you're all back in.
All right. Are you clear on that?
Clear.
Don't let him get into you, Jay.
No.
Don't let him get into you.
Not allowing any bullying.
You know you need a very good first question.
You do.
Otherwise he's going to be hammering you.
And sadly, last few weeks.
Hasn't got off to a great start.
It depends if he gets it right or wrong. So.
Hey, yes.
We were going through the airport security last week, Jay, and a guy said, I love the Fozcast, love the football feeling, love the show. He says, the quiz is brilliant. He says, I love it. It's absolutely great. He said, even though like some of the questions go wrong, he says, I love it. Can you do a longer version, please? And I was like, I love that, mate. I'll feed it back.
So what he said, even though the quiz is shit, it's great.
Can you do a longer version?
The worst quiz master.
We're going to do an end of season extravaganza.
Yeah.
An absolute extravaganza.
Oh, yes.
Bit of fun, isn't it? Right.
No,
serious
it's
business.
serious business.
Serious, yeah. Question 1. Mikel Arteta played 15 games in La Liga, but what team?
Real Sociedad.
Real Sociedad is the correct answer.
Good going, Tom.
Honestly.
It's a good answer, Tom.
It's good.
Are we happy with the question?
Didn't actually finish
Not
the
really.
question.
It's too easy.
What team?
It's too easy. It is, isn't it? It's too
He's laughing his head off as well. He knows. He's like,
No, it's because I know.
Yeah, but I know
good.
that. I know that.
Why didn't you say it then?
Because I'm thinking, surely Jamie has learned now that he has to structure the questions in a way that can catch you out.
You know that he's not going to, so why didn't you dive
but
in?
surely he would try and catch you out. So I would like to have thought that he would have continued with the question and said, but he did play 15 games for a La Liga team, Real Sociedad. Who then did he join after that? That would have tripped you up, yeah? So he could have jumped in with Real Sociedad.
That would have been too
So he
easy.
could have jumped in with Real Sociedad and you could have gone, no. Yeah, and we would have gone, oh, cool.
Do you know what, Joe?
The question.
You're right. It depends if he answers. If he gets the first answer.
Do you agree, Luke? Do you know what I'm saying?
Gone.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Luke's not getting involved.
Next question.
Structure it so you can get a few nibbles, right? Yeah, and then go gone.
Yeah, but I think Everton's
This is
quite
a
an
massive
easy.
nibble.
I think it's quite
This
an
is a
easy
massive
answer.
nibble right
If I
now.
go, what was the first Premier League team Mikel Arteta played for? Everton's very easy.
Yeah, all right. So who did he join Real Sociedad to, or what? How many goals did he score that season? Not.
That's too hard. It's too hard, isn't it?
Jamie,
Jamie, deep breath. Jamie, deep breath.
He's not focused.
Come on, mate. I've been cuddling Mark all day.
There's no complexity to that question.
Jay.
Try and catch him out. That's all I ask for, all right?
You know those referees, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to be one of those referees when the players run over to them and they go, no, go away, decision's made, done.
Layers, Jamie. I just want layers.
Yeah,
I think you need cards.
Might have to start like
Yellow and red.
points, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Might get relegated.
Get a yellow card for interfering.
I'm only joking, Jay. I'm only
Yeah, good 5-minute joke.
Yeah, nibs.
massive nib. Massive nib. I said to myself I wasn't going to nibble. Honestly,
It's impossible for you, mate.
That'll be 1-0.
You got 9 more questions as well, like.
1-0.
Question 2.
I hope this is a good question for your sake.
I'm actually a bit stressed now. Question 2.
He's sweating now.
Dejan Lovren played for what national team?
Belgium.
No. I'm happy you didn't get that because he'd have been...
Netherlands.
No.
Croatia.
Hold it. Croatia's the correct
I
answer.
knew this. I knew this.
Well done,
Oh, as soon as I said it, I knew.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Thrown off by the Belgium.
Yeah.
Why did you not answer, mate?
I couldn't think of Croatia.
That's Jamie's fault as well, isn't it?
Yeah, my head scrambled.
If it was
Yeah, I
Belgium,
helped you out there as well.
Head
Then I
scrambled.
said Netherlands. You
No,
were
that was a bad... Lovren, it sounds...
The thing is, you're going too
Yeah,
early
yeah.
because you want to say something.
But you've got to, haven't you? You've got to gamble sometimes.
Yeah, I'm glad I waited.
Question 3. Adam Lallana. Ready to jump in?
Wait there. I'm
Honestly,
going to gamble.
If the answer's Southampton, right, I'm done.
Is that your final answer?
Read the question, Jay.
Adam Lallana has been on loan to one club who are now a current Premier League club.
Southampton.
No.
Tom, come on.
Adam Lallana has been on loan to one club who are now
had to
a
go
current
for it.
Premier League club. Who is it?
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth is the correct answer.
Oh, well done. Didn't know that.
07-08 season when they were in League One.
He's played some nice seaside football, hasn't he? Brighton, Bournemouth, Southampton.
Got a good agent.
Yeah, really good.
Keep him in that location.
Yeah, apart from Liverpool for 7 years.
Just go up there for a bit.
Yeah.
Scores on the door. Tom 1, Ben 0, Watto 1, Robbo 1. Question 4, career path question. I have played for West Ham, Millwall loan, Chelsea, Portsmouth loan.
Glenn Johnson.
Glenn Johnson is the correct answer.
Very good. Very good.
You think he would have got a lot of grief for joining
Cool. Millwall, West Ham.
West Ham? He would have.
Loan.
Yeah. And Chelsea.
Yeah, and Chelsea.
He's another good agent. Just keep him in London.
Well done, Tom.
Thanks, Jay.
Question 5. Which Brazilian has the most Premier League appearances in history?
Firmino.
No. Which Brazilian has the most Premier League appearances? No.
Who did you say?
A really good goal.
Good answer.
Firmino is 4.
Gilberto.
No.
It's a good question. Good answer, sorry. It's a good question, this.
5. 4.
Gabriel Jesus?
No. All back in.
David Luiz.
No. A lot of Brazilians.
Richarlison.
No.
No chance. Can't be Richarlison.
Still haven't got any of the top 3 yet.
Really?
No. You've got 4. Firmino's 4. 2, 5, 6 he's on. Who's still in? Ben and Tom.
Me and Ben, yeah.
5.
It's a good question, that.
4.
I like that.
3. 2. 1.
Don't know.
All out. So 3rd place, Fernandinho. 2nd, Edison. And top boy, Willian. Fulham.
Yeah, Fulham.
Really good.
324 for Willian.
Good player.
Yeah, good.
Good going, that.
Question 6. Who has scored the most goals for Stoke City in the Premier League?
Crouch.
Peter Crouch is the correct answer.
I think we've had that
45.
before.
I think
No,
so too.
we haven't. We haven't.
No,
had
we
it.
haven't. No, we haven't, Jack.
Haven't.
No, we have not.
It's in the database.
1-1-1-1.
No,
Two.
two.
No,
for
two,
you.
you're right.
Two for me.
Question 7. We've got a manager career path question.
Oh, I love these.
I have managed Swindon Town, Chelsea.
Glenn Hoddle.
Glenn Hoddle's the correct answer. That's good knowledge, that is.
I'm not
The nostrils are flared.
It's a bad question. Nobody, like, why would for a YouTube show, yeah, for something that's gonna, our target audience is like 20 to 40, right?
Yeah.
Why would you have a Glenn Hoddle question in there? Love you, Glenn, I do.
Anyway, move on, Jay.
Question 8. Which player scored the earliest perfect hat-trick in Premier...
Mane.
No.
Robbie Fowler.
No. Which player has scored the earliest perfect...
What do you mean early, as in...
Like, quickest, like, as in...
That's not that. That's not quickest.
Earliest in the game. Yes, I was right. Earliest in the game.
What, as in, so the... OK. In a match.
Yeah. The perfect
quickest.
hat-trick, yeah.
Right.
You know what a perfect hat-trick is?
Yes, Jay.
I think I do.
I think so. Scored a shit in the playground.
Not a question.
He's stalling, by the way.
Is it just him left?
Yes.
It's not, is it?
You're in, Rob, aren't you?
No, I said Mane, same as you.
Oh.
Hat-trick.
Yeah.
5.
Andy Carroll.
No. All back in.
Peter Crouch.
No.
Shane Long.
No.
Oh, that's a good one. That's how I was thinking.
Alan Shearer.
No.
Put us all back in again, Jake.
No.
Just for the banter of it.
Owen.
No.
Got to put him on the countdown now.
5.
Put us all
Wait,
back in.
you've had 3 goes.
We're all
didn't you?
guessing in, we. That's what I mean.
There you
Put us all
go.
back in.
No, can't just become
No,
a
we're not-
guessing
no,
game.
no.
Keep the quiz going, otherwise it's dead and
No,
gone.
Jay.
It actually is a good point.
Stand
We're
your
gonna keep
ground,
it going.
Jay.
Keeping
Stand
it
your
going.
ground.
All back in.
Thank you, Jay. Well done.
So we're all just shouting until...
No, this is the last one. All back in. Do you want a clue? Yeah. Do you want a club or do you want... Do you want a club? Do you want a club?
Yeah,
Chelsea.
Go on.
Hasselbank.
No.
Good Johnson.
No.
Torres.
No.
I'm going to go recent Palmer.
Cole Palmer's
Yeah.
Palmer.
He did it last season within 29 minutes. Yeah.
very
First 29
good.
minutes of the game, yeah.
Very good.
What we got there in
Question
the
I
end?
thought it was long, the same as you.
that's-
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
3, 1, 1, 2.
Well done.
2 questions left. Question 9. Which Premier League club has had the most changes of managers in Premier League history?
Chelsea.
No.
West Ham.
No.
Good question, that. I like that.
Thanks.
Tottenham.
No.
That's good. They're a current Premier League club, you mean?
Can't say.
Well, the question says which Premier League club.
No, because I'm not going to give you a hint.
Yeah,
yet.
but,
But they've been a Premier League
That's what I mean.
club.
I need clarification though, because so then word it better. It needs to be
I
worded.
heard it fine.
Which Premier League club?
Yeah, I've said that. Which Premier League
Yeah, but
club?
that doesn't ascertain as to whether they are current or have been. in
but that's the
Premier League.
5, 4.
Because when they're in the Championship, I know not to pick Arsenal.
Is that your answer?
Arsenal.
No.
No, it's not my answer. I'm obviously not.
Well,
gonna
we're all-
Time, surely.
We're all back in anyway.
No, I still haven't answered my first
No,
question.
you timed
Time's
out.
gone.
What do you mean time's gone? You
gone.
didn't give me 5 down to
You
1.
started.
No chance.
started
On
waffling.
West Ham.
No.
I said West Ham.
And that's you're all back in as well.
See, you're not concentrating now.
You're all back in. Which Premier League club has had the most changes of managers in Premier League history? And you're not in for this one.
What?
You said Arsenal and West Ham.
Yes.
Oh, Arsenal,
yes.
obviously.
Good.
Wow,
well done, Jay.
Arsenal is
That's
not going to be
brilliant.
my
Strong
answer.
officiating.
Why would I say Arsenal? They're the manager for 20
Strong
years.
officiating.
I really like that. So, oh no, it can't be them.
5.
Villa.
No.
Watford.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
And they've only been in 5 Premier League seasons.
I bet they're up there.
Yeah, I bet they are up there.
Southampton.
Southampton's the correct answer. Robbo.
Very good.
Oh, they went through a massive
Massive,
stage,
didn't
didn't they?
Yeah.
Very
That was
good.
with you, weren't it? What?
Oh, my fault.
How many?
22.
22.
How many did you have when you were? How many managers?
22, huh? Flip me.
Koeman, Hasselhouten,
Pule.
Puel.
5.
Oh, yeah.
In how many years?
Good turnaround.
9.
I had that in 1 year at Watford.
That's what I'm saying. Surely Watford were close, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure Watford were up there, but Southampton overall 22. And I'm pretty sure Chelsea were up there as well.
Yeah, they will be.
Question 10. What?
3-3? 3-3?
3-3.
3, 1.
Come on then, Robbo, let's have it.
Can't answer then, can we, really? Well, can you get a tiebreaker, won't you?
What was Tottenham's shirt sponsor in their first season in the Premier League?
Holston.
Wholesome's the correct answer. What?
Only because it's beer.
Well done. He's taking it to a tiebreaker though. It's a tiebreaker between Robbo
Come on, Tom.
and Tom.
Come on.
Come on, the guests.
And
Come on, the guests.
there's no rush on this question, so you both get an answer.
Fantastic.
That was Hummel, wasn't it? Was it Hummel, the Holston shirt?
Kappa won it and all that stuff.
Pony, do you remember Pony?
Pony, I
wasn't
remember
it?
that.
Wasn't it
Yeah.
Pony?
I don't think originally. I think it was Holston to start.
Come on in, Jimbo.
Yeah, Hummel. I think it might have been Hummel.
It's a tiebreaker
Danish
question.
brand, you know.
Yeah.
Danish brand.
Tiebreaker question, no rush. It's closest to. Mikel Arteta left Everton to join Arsenal in 2011, but how much was his transfer fee?
This should have been the first question.
No.
This should have been the first
No,
question.
because you wouldn't have got the answer.
Because he would have jumped in with a Real Sociedad, yeah? And then you'd have gone, no.
But what
How
happens-
much was he worth?
Who says it first?
Yeah, you've.
No, I thought you said
Write it down on
closest
your
to.
phone.
Do you say closest to?
Yeah, so write it down or just write down your
Right,
phone.
I've got it in my head.
Got it
We
in-
can be honest.
I
We're
don't
honest,
believe you. I don't
guys.
believe you. I don't believe
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so you've got it in your head.
I've got it in my head,
Okay,
yeah.
5 million.
I've got 8.5.
The answer is 10 million.
Get in there, Robbo! Get in, Robbo!
Well done, Robbo.
Get in, you're the man.
Well done.
Get in there.
Taking the guest tally up to 2.
Go on,
Yeah,
man.
because like you say, it was never the fees were never going to be as high as what they are
Get
now.
in. Unlucky man.
But it was at that time where it was changing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Good quiz, Jamie.
Yeah.
10 mil.
Cheers, Watto.
Well done, Jamie.
You're fuming. You're fuming.
Wow.
What a nibble.
Yeah. Big nibble.
That was a huge quiz of nibbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive quiz of nibbles.
That first question, if I
stuff
could,
off my
do you know
feet.
what I've learnt though? On the very
bit
first
after.
question, it's like a sacrifice one for me. I just gamble because if I know I get it right, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's
It's
gone.
worth it, yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it.
The benefits outweigh
Yeah,
the...
because if I get it wrong, get it wrong. If I get it right, meltdown central.
Yeah.
Jamie's.
Proper meltdown.
We saw it today.
I
didn't
think that might be the best meltdown we've ever done.
Well done, everybody.
Well done.
See you next week.
That's
camera.
Tubes.
And everyone, I'll see you next week.
we? See you later.